But there you go, the opening bell, the Nifty resilience continues. We are still just hovering around that 19,650 odd level, mildly, very mild, flat kind of start. But let's see, these are early days where we actually pick it up from here. I want to check in on what ITC is up to and how the street is absorbing that rose commentary on the sidelines of the hotel demerger. The fact that it's going to rise by 18 to 20% is what the management indicated. 0.5% higher for ITC is where we're currently at. A lot of other earnings which are going to be on our radar. Indian hotels, firstly, the occupancy levels have fallen on a sequential basis. Margins have seen a decline of about 180 basis points. Cost pressures are what you can attribute this to. We're going to be chatting with the management as well shortly. Mildly soft is where Indian hotels has actually kick-started in trade. Now to the positive set of numbers. Ajanta Pharma, margin expansion, EBITDA has risen 22%. Gap up move on Ajanta Pharma, 8% higher, 7% higher is where that stock is. Macrotech developers as well. Although, the realizations have not quite, matched up to what the street was anticipating, but the pre-sales have actually, shot up about almost 30%. So that's the take coming in from macro developers. Also, a couple of other stocks which are going to be on our radar as well this morning. Let's quickly bring up that list. Impressive numbers coming in from BEL as well. The EBITDA jump up of 29.4%. New order wins are now at a record high. 3% higher is where you're currently at for BEL as we speak. Bunch of other stocks that we are keeping on our radar this morning. This Piramal Pharma as well. The rights issue has been priced at 81 rupees per share. Let's see how Piramal Pharma is reacting to that particular news flow. The ratio has been frozen in at 5:46. Piramal Pharma currently lower by about 2% as we speak. Also very good numbers from Home First Finance as well. The revenue from operations stand at about 255 odd crore rupees. That's an uptick of 50% on a year-on-year basis. Home First, mildly tempered, but maybe you will eventually see a pickup in this stock. Sona BLW, we're going to be chatting with the management as well shortly. The margins have seen an uptick. Revenues have risen. 25.25% is what they've clocked. 599 on that stock. Sham Metallics as well. The board has approved a fundraise of 3,600 crore rupees. Revenue uptick 2.6%. Indus Towers, Intellect Design, they're all positive set of numbers. Let's see where Indian Hotels is now settled in at, given that the numbers weren't at par with what the street was anticipating. There's also JK Lakshmi, which has come out with the numbers. The results are below what the street was anticipating. Net profit has come in lower by 26%. And since we're talking about earnings reactions, I definitely want to see where Laurus Labs is finally settled in at. After the stock really being all over the place post its numbers came out, the recovery on the back of the management commentary continues on Laurus, holding up 0.5% as we speak right now. Trident, LG Balakrishnan, Sagar Cements, they've all come out with a disappointing set of numbers. So not bad at all. It's a quiet start, and amidst the global cues, Kunal, one would have to say it's a resilient start as well.
Yeah, it's a resilient start, and even at the open, there are a lot of things to adjust. That 140-point premium for the index for the start of the August series. So the initial gap down opening is part of a process to adjust the steep premium for the August future. So I would expect that once that settles up in the next half an hour, next 1 hour, is where the real trends would emerge for the index. And the put call ratio was extremely oversold for the index yesterday. So hopefully that should now act as a support point for the index on an intraday basis. The stock which I would look to trade in the open would be on the sell side, and that will be on Ashok Leyland. That's a stock which I believe is heading towards some sort of a resistance or a hurdle zone at the 180 to 83 mark. So that's a stock which I would look to trade in the open.
Okay, let's find out what Vaishali's views are on the market open rates at around 19,600. What's the take given that it's flat across the board, Vaishali? And what's the first trade that you're punching in this morning?
So, well, I would say that market is holding on. So I would still wait and watch for another 15 minutes. But well, it continues to be a hold. And as far as Ashok Leyland is concerned, I have a contrarian view. I would say that yes, the upside target is still open for 190 levels. So I would say buy it with a stop loss of 175. So that is where we differ. But yes, I have a buy on Ashok Leyland.
All right, that's the view coming in. It's a buy recommendation on Ashok Leyland.